This is Diorio saying that Pixie agrees that President Sunday painted her in an unfair light and manipulated the situation. I didn't consent to President Sunday receiving those messages at all, and I feel like they painted both of us in a really bad / untrue light. What is going on, everybody, here at the After Show? I am your host, Kmplxity, along with my co-host, Zeph.
What's going on, everybody?
It has been a wild couple of months, okay? If you guys don't know, leaks, if you don't know, you're probably never on the internet, and I don't know how you're even watching this video, but some leaks have happened on the whole DGG Destiny side of the internet, which is ever growing like the cancer it is. You guys know there's no love lost here between us and Destiny. We don't like Destiny, we don't know Destiny, but we don't need to know him to dislike him. We hate him for who he is as a human being. Full disclosure, we did have a video where we were reacting to Kmplxity. It was very, very long. Now, the video that we were watching was Kmplxity. It was like the first video that we were kind of introduced into this whole thing. And it was the video itself, if you've seen it, it was a timeline of what was going on. Now, that video, I'm not entirely sure if it is coming out or not coming out. I'm going to be 100% honest with you, because the narrative that was going on behind the scenes that was being painted by President Sunday, not Kmplxity, but President Sunday and some other people who were within the Destiny circle, was pretty much just painting the girl Pixie as a money-hungry chick, and certain things about what she said did make her seem quite, well, money-oriented. Now, of course, in that video, I also say, like, hey, look, if this is true, if Destiny did all of these things, then 100% you're entitled to some money. You're entitled to all of these things, but, like, you don't want screenshots of you saying these things because it doesn't play well in court.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, the video itself, we were still pretty in the middle in the end of it. We were still kind of like, well, Destiny, like, there's still not a whole lot of context given to what happened between Destiny and the other chick that supposedly, like, he leaked it to or whatnot. And then but we mostly saw essentially what was happening with Pixie, and our opinions of Pixie were kind of skewed because we didn't have the full context of what happened with Destiny. I think
Well,
that's
and
what
then
really
on top
happened
of
at the end of the
it,
day.
on top of it too, there was also a vast majority of the information that was being dripped out or was a slow leak. It was coming from people who had ill intention. Like, everybody who was leaking, from Erudite to Destiny to these people who were around Pixie, and were basically, all of them were trying to get as much information as they could for their own benefit. And as the slow leak was coming out, they were leaking a narrative. Now, again, I'm not going to say that, hey, we don't hold L's, we don't take L's. So, like, if it is an L, it's an L. But you're definitely insensitive in the video. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm still not apologizing. I'm still not apologizing though, because we have yet to establish whether or not she cheated on her boyfriend with Destiny or lied to her boyfriend about sleeping with Destiny before they got together.
And I wouldn't say that I want to throw Kmplxity completely under the bus, but the way the video was designed definitely didn't help anything. It definitely didn't help paint Pixie in a good way. It definitely didn't help exonerate her in any way, but it also didn't really help Destiny either.
I mean,
like, it didn't really give us a full story.
Well, there was even times where, like, in the video with Kmplxity, we had to pause and actually read the text messages, because he was summarizing it and was actually leaving out, at least to us, important parts. Regardless, that's not a sweep. That's not anything. Like I said, we hold our L's. It is what it is. If you guys find that the video was in poor taste, whatever, we understand, and we'll hold that.
At the very least, it warrants us to revisit it like we're going to do today.
And we were already planning on, like, going deeper into it, but now that we are deeper into it, it's kind of like, well, fuck. Like, we don't really want to put out that poor piece of media because of it. But anyway,
don't really want to put kerosene on a burning fire already.
So going forward right now, basically what happened a couple of months ago, as you all know, Destiny was outed for potentially leaking without knowledge, consent, or authorization. This has been proven true. It's 100% true. If you didn't know that this was Destiny, that's one of the reasons I didn't like Destiny in the first place, is because of how freaking crazy he is sexually, like how freaking gooner minded and wild and like sex pestery he seems to be.
If you think
And
Complexity is a gooner, you should meet this guy. Holy shit.
the fact of the matter is that it had been, I thought it was like just a known thing that this dude like leaks people's shit. Like I really thought that that was just known. Like even in the other video, we literally like, this isn't like, how did you not know this? Like this is just known about him. Like at least I thought it was just known about him that he is that type of a
I think I
person.
said something along the lines of, "Why would you send it to him without the understanding of like he might leak it to somebody else?"
Right. And this isn't a guy thing. This is a destiny thing. Cause it's like literally his orbit is full
He's a
of,
scumbag.
yeah, he's a scumbag, and his entire orbit is full of people who are willing to sweep for him, just like Hassan. As much as he hates Hassan, he is literally the other version of it. They're one and the same a lot of it, a lot of the
Mhm.
time. But regardless, we have a ton, and I mean a ton of things that we're
Good
going
lord.
through. I mean, here's some of our feedback with Cope and Seeth and all that. I mean, Destiny's mod team made a huge statement. We have Cherry here. I mean, there's just so much. But let's go to Pixie herself. So Pixie here, she responded to Dextro with some screenshots. So this is between Straighterade and
Mm.
Destiny, and I know some of you won't be able to see it because it's a little cut off, but we're going to be reading it here. So it's from Straighterade. It says, which is possibly extremely difficult to prove in her case. She's not a high-profile micro celebrity, and you didn't leak it maliciously.
Mm.
To be completely honest, I will say this: I don't think he did like leak it maliciously, because he would have to think that it was wrong to do it in the first place. Like the only way you can, in my like, because you can't maliciously do something if you don't think you're wrong for doing it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm not. That's not a way to turn around and say, "Oh, he's a good person." I'm saying that he doesn't care about people. Like he doesn't. He just you guys like he just looked at you like the chicks in
He lacks
his
empathy.
lineup.
He
Well, it's just a
lacks
lineup.
empathy.
It's like it's one girl to the next. Like she, like I said previously, like she's just, it was a ticket to him. She was a number. That was it. So that's what I'm saying. Straight Array continues by saying you didn't even leak it at all. You distribute it non-consensually. So first and foremost, Straighterade is 100% a snake. Straighterade is like,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not gonna say snaky as in the sense of she was trying to play all sides, but snaky is in the fact that she had an agenda to help sweep for Destiny and to help like manage this stuff, which is, I don't know, I
100%.
just don't understand why some fucking, as far as I know, Straighterade is just some like rando mod or something, or some mod for Destiny, or some orbiter or whatever. It's like, why are you trying to be the go-between rather than trying to go ahead and like, why are you being the go-between rather than the mediator? Like just get these two people in a call and have a conversation or something, or
So
better yet,
a lot of the
don't.
leaks actually came from President Sunday talking to
Straighter
Straighterade.
aid, yeah.
So this person involved in this, regardless they want to be or not. So
Well, and then not only that, like we were saying, the people who were drip feeding the information, they had an agenda. And it does
mhm.
definitely seem like Straighter Aid and President Sunday might have had some, because we don't have the full DM leaks there, but it definitely seemed like the two of them were on the same mindset of how this should go. And come to our freaking understanding now, too, apparently didn't even know this because we don't really watch Destiny orbiters or haters or anything. Apparently Destiny and freaking President Sunday have this long-standing beef between the two of them, where Destiny even doxed freaking President Sunday. Didn't know that. Had no clue. See, had we known these types of things, like behind the scenes things that we would have to be like in the Destiny orbit to know this stuff, I would have been looking, I'm sure all of us would have been looking at those freaking DMs way differently.
Oh
Consider,
yeah.
I mean, you have to consider the fact that this was all done maliciously if once you learn that, oh, these guys actually have a rival and one of them docs the other person. So I guess it could definitely be summed up to, we didn't entirely do our due diligence, but we were dipping our foot into it rather than like trying to cover all of this stuff at once. But with all of
I
that,
like I think being said, the Cope and
mm,
Seeds video is very good, but it wanted to try to do a whole timeline of events, but it definitely missed out a lot of things that like
well,
that's
it's also,
important information. We
yeah,
don't know these people and he starts talking about, or they, I don't know what they are. They start talking about or sharing these DMs and these leaks from these between these individuals, but we have no idea their relation to Destiny or the Destiny orbit. So as
Right.
far as we knew, these are people that are null and void. I still, yeah, it's.
Because I looked at it as basically President Sunday was just another freaking commentator, another video
Mhm.
essayist. Had Cope and C turned around and been like, "Now we can't completely believe everything that's going on in these DMs, considering President Sunday and Destiny have a long-standing rivalry." I'd be like, "Oh, that would have been nice to know in the
It
first
explains a
place."
lot.
Like,
Explains
because
a lot.
yeah, some people turn around and when they talk about a situation as if everybody who's watching the video already knows the situation. And when your video is supposed to be a timeline of events, it kind of helps to know a little bit of the backstory. But that's just a critique. Anyways, so Destiny responds to Straighteraid and turns around and says, "Yeah, I know. I looked into it for obvious reasons just to be sure, but I don't really care much about the legal side of it or whatever. Obviously, I have severely, at the very least, psychologically damaged her. Covering therapy or whatever is a minimum, and I have no problem helping out or sending her money for anything as a form of reparation. I just didn't want it to come off as like, hey, bitch, lol, I know I violated your trust in the worst way ever, but here's some money, have fun." Which, of course, is exactly how it would come off. Now, I did say this, and I'll stick to it because it is correct. Destiny offering her money is the smartest possible play in his position because again, if she takes the money, she loses credibility. Like a lot of people will
Mhm.
look at her, especially with her now having a GoFundMe, a lot of people will look at her and be like, "Oh, okay, she probably doesn't have any credibility anymore. She was only after the clout, only after the money, etc., etc." And if she doesn't accept it, Destiny can at least turn around to his own audience and say, "Well, I mean, I tried to help her with
I
these
tried.
things." Exactly. He's put himself in a win win situation. She takes the money, he pays out some money, she looks bad. She doesn't take the money, he still looks like he tried to help her.
The action
It's.
itself was a good idea in terms of legal standpoint and, like,
Mhm.
optics, but the way he went about it just, didn't help anything.
Right, exactly. So then the further screenshot is Destiny responding. He says, "There shouldn't be no, I'm sorry. There's literally zero excuse. I had phone conversations and stuff with this person. They were fairly close to me. It's worthless to say it at this point, but I'm super sorry. There's literally no excuse. I won't say or confirm anything about them. If there's any particular action or thing I can do, just let me know." Which is kind of a dick move. I mean, I won't say or confirm anything about the person who potentially leaked the stuff that I sent them. Like that's a bit of a bitch move. Like that just what that
Kind
means is
of a
that
sweep.
you're just yeah, it's a sweep. You're protecting this person, you know. And here's the other thing too. Why couldn't Destiny say all of this stuff that he said to Straighteray to Pixie? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I totally did this to you. I mean, you're already admitting fault in general. Like, might as well just say it to the person you victimized, man. I mean, at that point, no, but um the one thing I will say about freaking I hate having to scroll all the way back up. Okay. So Not So Erudite, who is a co-host with Destiny, so she put out a message. So she did say that this public statement here was subject to change with information. This is from Not So Erudite. She turns around and says, "I only ever looked into the leaks and reached out to Pixie because I was concerned for her well-being after I spoke with Pixie in person." Now, these right here are all links, and as far as I know, all of these links are the same links that are in her current public statement. So while I'm not able to click on this because they are a screenshot, we still have them in her public statement, which we're going to be going over in a bit. So after I spoke with Pixie in person, she made clear her desire for me to bridge the gap between her and Steven and her desire for as little attention on the leaks or anything identifying her as possible. Both my involvement and my silence were at Pixie's request. It looks like she has proof of that. My greatest concern this whole time has been her well-being. Here are the logs first and second. Notes, any stops in the logs are to prevent other creators' names being leaked, which is it's a little fair, a little unfair, but you know, you take what you can get. I understand why, but at the same time, it's like name names. If they're in the wrong names, you know. She goes on to say, I have never been interested in shutting down conversations about this topic, only mentions that narrow the question of who could have leaked again at Pixie's request in the FQ messages. I explicitly tell her to leave her comment up just to remove that part about mutual friends, because this further increases the likelihood of people knowing it was Pixie or going through the trouble to verify the mutual friend in question. If I wanted to just remove the comment, I would have done so. I would not have reached out to FQ. Upon learning of the leaks and Pixie's potential involvement, I investigated privately, contacting Aaron, then spoke to Pixie and Steven in person, separately. Well, in person and separately, I'm assuming. I never defended, supported, or minimized Steven's sharing of Pixie's intimate images. Most of my conversations with Steven about this topic were in person and confrontational. I fought with him and advocated for reconnecting with Pixie. My mediation for Pixie ended when she opted to reach out to Steven directly because I felt unable to navigate her monetary requests. Note, there are a few DMs of our disagreement, but found this to be substantial, the timing of my voicing disagreement and punishing him. I viewed him as genuinely remorseful. Now this is where we get to like the complete bullshittery sweep. I viewed him as genuinely remorseful and acting to fix the harm he has done, which is why I remained in business partnership with him. In business partnership. Not everyone can go to Harvard, it looks like. I am very disappointed and angry with him that he opted not to reconnect with Pixie. Oh, that's the problem you have. Okay, well that's good. You know, it's a good thing to be upset over. I learned of the allegations against Cherry yesterday. I supported her and Pixie's decisions to the lawsuit/charges. I've paused Bridges' release, canceled guests, and will evaluate business relations as I learn more. I asked Steven for information, but he's uncomfortable sharing due to legal involvement. Everything here is related with all party or released with all parties' consent. My DMs with Pixie were not given to Sunday or others with Pixie's consent. So you viewed the man who said he recognized that he genuinely scarred her mentally as genuinely remorseful. That's what you got from that? This guy right here, right? I don't really care much about the legal side of it or whatever. Obviously, I have severely, at the very least, psychologically damaged her. Covering therapy or whatever is a minimum, and I have no problem helping out, sending money, blah, blah, blah. He says all of these things, but at the same time, he literally he turns around and is saying, yeah, I totally scarred her, yeah, it's bad, I should definitely at the minimum pay. Like, people are saying like Pixie's whole mentality is money, but Destiny's entire mentality is money as well.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like, I don't
give a fuck.
care, like I'm just gonna pay it off. Like,
He literally kind of does just want to throw money at her and
Throw
just be like,
money.
"Can we be done with this?" Like this is what I'm saying. Like this is what I said earlier. He doesn't have empathy for this problem. He doesn't have the empathy to care that this person, like, he understands. Like, he's not emphasizing. He understands. There's a difference between understanding. Oh, I may have severely traumatized this person, but he's not emphasizing and feeling that person's feelings and trying to understand that depth of it. He just wants to throw money at the problem to get it to go away.
Well, and then not only that, but it's like the other thing too is like you're already incredibly legally implicated in a lot of this. Like, your leaks are all over the place. Your Discord logs easily obtainable. Like, all of these things, it's Jover, bro. Like, there's no arguing. You can't even come out and say, yeah, you know what, guys, I looked back on it and I was wrong. Like, because you've maintained this entire time that, well, I didn't leak it. I just sent it to somebody without anyone's consent who potentially leaked and or got hacked. And it's like, they would never have had it. It would never have been able to have been hacked from that person, if that's what happened, had they never had it in the first place. Secondly, we are coming over to, let's see, because this was in a thread here. Yeah, this was the Diorio thread. So this is the not so erudite. So here's some of the logs that are from, I'm assuming from freaking, from the original here. So I'm gonna go down to this one here that he posted a couple of days ago. This is Diorio saying that Pixie agrees that President Sunday painted her in an unfair light and manipulated the situation. I agree. He never gave a fuck about anything other than destroying Destiny. That's why he wrote Pixie off as a suicide baiter. This is between, I believe this is between Pixie and Not So Erudite. Says, hey, I'm still worried for you. Are you okay? No matter what, please never hesitate to reach out. She says, it says, hi, Kayla. Okay, Kyla, I'm sorry for not getting back to you earlier. I've just been really overwhelmed with the situation. I didn't consent to President Sunday receiving those messages at all. And I feel like they painted both of us in a really bad / untrue light. I really appreciate the fact that you care so much about me and have been checking on me so often, just asking if I'm okay. I don't think you'd go that far if you didn't care. I really feel I feel really guilty / bad because I didn't expect things to get leaked like this at all. And can confirm. I mean, without the President Sunday video, there wouldn't have been the Cope and Seed video, which in return wouldn't be our video. So
Yeah.
it's like it all trickles down from. This is why it says you have to check your sources, right? And if you're just a passerby and you're like, oh, what's going on here? And you click on a video and you're like, what? This is, the source to the source to the source. And it is, I hate getting duped, man. I hate feeling a bit
It
duped.
sounds like this President Sunday person wants to, like Diorio says here, you never gave a fuck about anything other than destroying Destiny. Well, you have an opportunity here to destroy Destiny, and this is a good thing to use against him in your crusade. But for some reason, Pixie's just a suicide baiter, and that the whole I don't really know why he wants to suddenly write her off as a suicide
Well,
baiter
because it
because
doesn't go with his narrative. That's the thing, right? Because if she's
yeah,
just a suicide baiter, then it doesn't make him look bad for putting it out there.
right. Just one of those things of like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like
Right.
you could have this could have been good ammunition for you, you know?
It could have been a lot of good things for this guy.
It's so
Okay.
small.
Yeah, I'm moving in on it. I got it. Okay, so it looks like these are the logs between Pixie and Kyla / not so erudite, I believe. I'm assuming this is gonna be her, this is gonna be Pixie on the left in the
Mhm.
gray. I'm saying, I mean, it's nice to be home. Are you just studying still? I'm trying to, but it all feels so pointless. Well,
How about I
Pixie,
read one or the other? You want me
okay.
to read one or the other?
Sure,
So you read the first.
I'll read the first. Yeah, I'll read freaking Not So Erudite, and then you can read Pixies. Uh
Okay.
Not So Erudite says, I mean, it's always nice to be home. Are you just studying still?
And then I'm Pixie saying, I'm trying to, but it all feels so pointless. I'm trying hard to focus and not spiral and hold on hope, but then I feel guilty for having hope because nothing ever goes right and everything bad that can happen will happen.
She then turns around and responds by saying, yeah, it sounds like there is that seated terror about the outcome for sure. Do you want to call?
Then it looks like there is a break between Monday, December 16th to Wednesday, and she's just asking, did you end up talking to Steven? Which is Destiny.
Mm-hmm. Scrolling. Oh, go back just a little bit. Looks like she responds by saying, not yet. Coleman canceled, so I ended up not coming in, but will be there Saturday. Are you hinging a lot on my conversation with him? Other than what I mentioned, is there anything you were hoping to be brought up?
Holy shit.
She can text.
I think so this is Pixie. I think I'm going to decide my next course of action of what to do with myself and him based on how that conversation goes. Unless if you decide you don't want to talk to him. That's okay too. Basically, I have my plans, course of action paused and will choose something depending on if he agrees. There should be a comma there. He has to make up / repent for his actions and wants to work with me to find a way to do that, or he doesn't feel that way. I don't want to talk to him myself because I feel like I tried explaining what I was feeling and he didn't really understand. I also have a little anxious voice in my brain telling me to prepare for the worst because he probably won't care or doesn't care enough to willingly try to make up for his mistakes. And that means I'll have to start thinking of more extreme slash nuclear options to deal with. But I'm trying to avoid spiraling down that line of thought because I'm trying to hold out for hope.
Yeah, these were in the Cope and See
Yes.
video.
And not to just and just not to scare you, I'm 100% not going to do anything to myself no matter what he says during the holiday season because I don't want to traumatize my friends during a time that's supposed to be happy, and even if he responds negatively, it doesn't mean I'll auto kill myself. I'm trying to contemplate all different courses of actions, including going to public, and then if I can't take the amount of humiliation, then KMSing myself in Minecraft versus my plan before scheduling a note for after I KMS. I'm also still looking into lawyers, but I just want to see what he says before doing any other nuclear options.
Yeah, and this was definitely like her area too, where she was like she was saying, right, is that if it responds negatively, it doesn't mean she's gonna auto offer herself or anything. She's trying to different courses and actions, et cetera, et cetera. And it seems like throughout the entirety of this situation, her biggest deal was like the fact that of her parents seeing it. Right. And when people broadcast it, especially with her being a public figure, I mean, once the fans once the flames are fanned, like it's going to people, there's going to be people who specifically seek her parents out to send the
Mhm.
video to them. Like it just, once it's public, there's just no putting the, the genie back in the bottle on that one.
Once it's out there, it's out there.
Right. Erudite, I believe either, wait, no, either this is either Erudite or freaking what was the other one, Super Straight or something straight? I think it's Erudite though. But
Yeah, I think so too.
she turns around, or they turn around and say, "Can I share this with Steven? He communicated to me he knows he fucked up. There is no excuse." No, this has to be Stein or whatever the freak, because it says he communicated to me that he knows he fucked up. But then again, I guess Erudite is his freaking co-host, I would assume.
Erudite was saying, like, "I'm going between them both, like, I'm trying to
Right.
talk to both of them."
Regardless, so the person that's not Pixie turns around and said that he communicated to me that he knows he fucked up. There is no excuse at all and doesn't know what he can do for you to make it up. I am trying to bridge between to help him understand what would make you feel that he understood he was wrong and should never do this again. Or better, what can I share with him? All right, so yeah, it's definitely erudite with her saying bridge.
Mhm. "You can share this and anything you want with him. I felt like when we talked, you really understood where I was coming from and can hopefully explain this better than I can."
So Erudite turns around and says, "Gotcha. Thanks not for sugarcoating anything about where you are at. I think what we talked about was what you needed. Help removing the video from the online, getting the guy who hacked charged, a sense that Steven understands how in the wrong he was, and a plan to prevent this from ever happening again. Is that what you feel you need?"
And this is one of those messages where we genuinely was, like, critical because we're like, "That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
make sense." Like, why would he be charged if he was hacked? That doesn't
Right.
make a whole lot of
We were
sense.
very critical about this because and then on top of it too, like there was also talks of like behind the scenes between Dan, who was asking Destiny whether or not he would be willing to give her money, Pixie money, and then also if Pixie would be willing to try to convince Destiny not to try and sue freaking Josh Moon and Kiwi Farms. Like there was just so much going on that there were so many things that just didn't make freaking sense, right? How are you going to charge somebody if they got hacked?
Right.
How are you going to sue Kiwi Farms, a freaking publishing site for
Mhm.
publishing
Josh
shit?
Moon.
Like, and then on top of it too, it's like, okay, on one hand, she wants money from him, but then on the other hand she gets upset over him offering her money. Like it, there was just so much, and there still is. Like it's
Mhm.
just, it's dumb, it's crazy. But anyways.
So after that immediate response, we say, "Yeah, the only problem is number 3 because even with the removal of the video and getting the guy hacked charged, Steven has to face the consequences proportional to his actions. I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life, and I'm essentially asking him to self-punish himself in a way I don't think he will like or agree to without the law involved. I don't have a dollar amount from the top of my head. It just has to be enough that for the rest of his life, If he thinks the word if he thinks of the word nude, quote unquote, he associates it with the amount of money he lost. Obviously, I don't want to make him destitute, but it should be large enough that he does feel upset about it and is not easily recoverable. And this is the message that we criticize her for, because it
Right.
sounds like she's just going at him for money.
It does. It completely sounds like she's just going at him from, because if you just take these two screenshots right here where it says, so this is what you want, right? You want the video removed, you want the guy who hacked got charged, and you want Steven to understand what he did was wrong. This right here, it makes it sound like, okay, Destiny got hacked. You obviously want the removed video that was stolen from him removed, and you want Steven to understand what he did was wrong. Without, there's no hey, we want Steven to understand that sending the video of you to another person is wrong. There was none of that. There was just, oh, he needs to understand what he did was wrong. It's like, we never, even in the Cope and Seed video, you never figure out what did wrong was. Never. There's nothing. There's no understanding of what freaking Destiny did. So going off of that entirety, the fact that him sending the video to another person is practically left out of the Cope and Seed video. We were just running around like, what did he do? Like, what is he needing to be charged for? Like, that's kind of the whole premise as to why that video is in question on whether or not we should release it, because without that
information.
Yeah, without that one dynamic piece of information, that video is just complete. There's nothing
A
there.
lot of assumptions.
Yeah, there was. But then again, see, this is what happens when people drip feed information like this. They want to paint a narrative, and when they use this word like, "Oh, you want him to know he did wrong," it's like, yes, the two people in this conversation, they know what they're talking about, but us just looking at this,
we don't have the context.
We don't have the context. So, yeah. So next we get 3 more from freaking Erudite. It says, okay, so that is what you want to pursue. It wasn't clear to me before this. Before that, this is what you wanted specifically. My understanding was it was more a sense of rehabilitation and justice. Okay, first and foremost, you're not going to rehabilitate any multimillionaire. I don't
Nope.
You listen, there are people who are dirt poor, broke, like eat roaches for supper, and you can't rehabilitate them. You really think you can rehabilitate somebody who thinks who literally gets away with just saying people should be killed because they voted for Trump? Like, nothing happened to him really because of that. Oh, what? He got kicked off, or no, he's not even on Twitch. Oh, he lost a sponsorship. Oh no, he's only a multimillionaire still. Like, listen, guys. Listen, you're not rehabilitating anybody. I'm just saying, like, it's true. It's just true. And then she goes on to say, but you have a specific thing you want now, which is for him to lose a certain amount of money.
And now that we're getting the full context, I wouldn't say full context, but now that we're seeing these messages back to back, it's a lot more easier to follow, because the way Cope and Seed had it, they're all split up. They're discombobulated. They weren't like we would go between Strader Aid and President Sunday to these messages, and these messages back to back make it seem like this erudite person. It makes a lot more sense, because this erudite person definitely is coming off, to me at least, as somebody who's trying to be the middleman, be the mediator, and you can kind of tell that they have a little bit of bias, because just by the message that she just said, it's like, so now you're saying you have a set amount of money you want. So going into that, her response to Erudite is, it is that I don't think if Steven faces consequences, he will change and he will do this again. If he wants, he can donate the money to some charity or organization. I just think that other than jail, or even more than jail from the studies I've read, money is the strongest reinforcer, and losing it is the strongest punishment. I do not believe he will stop his actions unless if he faces some level of punishment.
Listen, that's literally just the Keemstar thought process right there. You guys aren't gonna stop fucking up a live stream until I fine you $1,000, until they take, a portion of your check.
I don't think this message was in the Cope and Seeds video at all.
I might have been, but not so erudite turns around and says, "Gotcha. I need to think about that then, because I am happy to communicate what you need broadly as a sense of justice, but I'm not sure what I think about the specifics of money and punishment in this case." Okay, allow me to explain to you. Allow me to explain to you what the fuck that means, because she's using this beautiful little thing we like to call lawyer speak. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. What she just said is right. Let me reread it to you and then I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay. It says, I need to think about that then, because I am happy. I am happy to communicate what you need broadly as a sense of justice, but I'm not sure what I think about the specifics of money and punishment in this case. So, what she just said is, I'm happy to help you talk about this, but now that you actually know what you want, I don't know if I can help you. See,
Mhm.
Erudite was totally okay with talking about doing something, but now that Pixie has an idea that she wants to actually invoke more than just, moral pain, or now that Pixie is wants more than just, an understanding that he did something wrong, and now that there is a specific desire to harm Destiny in some way, shape, or form, not so erudite is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, what, you want him to take accountability? Whoa,
Oh, I'm reading ahead a
whoa,
little bit, and
whoa,
it
whoa.
gets worse. It
Oh,
gets worse.
I can only assume it gets worse considering that's what it is. But listen, people. If anyone ever tells you that they're happy to talk to you about something broadly, what it means is they're happy to just talk about it. They don't want to do anything about it. They don't actually want something to happen. They're totally cool with talking about gray areas and in a broad space of things. They don't actually want to do anything. They're hoping that this camping trip doesn't make it out of the DMs. Basically, that's that person.
I will help you talk about your problems, and I can
Mm.
help you talk about possibilities of how to fix it, but I can't tell you or specifically talk to you about these things because I don't know about that stuff because
Well,
I'm not a
she
lawyer.
was totally okay with anything. It wasn't even that. She was totally okay with things until it got to her wanting to punish Destiny, right?
Money.
Because
Mhm.
the three things, right? If we go back, the only thing she was down with is Steven understanding he did a no-no. But now that she knows that Pixie wants, Destiny to suffer in some way, shape, or form, she's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, I don't know if he needs to take
Wait a minute here.
accountability. Like,
Wait a minute here.
yeah. Anyway, so she goes on to say, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just the tone has changed from our previous conversation. See, the tone has changed from you not wanting to hurt
Mhm.
Destiny to you wanting to hurt Destiny. And that's kind of like my bread and butter right there. That's kind of like my money source. And I'm gonna need you
I don't
not
know
to
if I can
fuck
just
with
let you
that.
do that. I don't know if
Yeah.
I can just let you do that one for free.
Yeah. As I said, you will change how you feel day by day, and I understand that, but I'm a bit uncertain as to what caused the change in your thinking, and so I wouldn't want to speak to Steven about this on your behalf because I'm not totally certain what's led to the certainty on this course of action. Allow me to do exactly what I did with the first paragraph, okay? I'm a bit uncertain as to what caused the change in your thinking. Hey, bitch, who's been in your ear? Who told you to
Mhm.
do this?
Mhm.
Huh? Who told you? So I wouldn't want to speak to Steven on this on your behalf. So I'm not gonna go talk to Destiny without a name. And then she goes on to say, because I'm not totally certain what's led to the certainty on this course of action. Because I need to know who's been telling you to go after his money before I tell him that so he knows who to target. That's what the hell
And
just happened.
until we know a name, I'm gonna cover my ears and go la la
Mm-hmm.
la 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 because I don't know what you're talking about.
That's literally what she just said. I am uncertain as to what changed, and here's how you know. Here's how you know what that's what she was saying, because she turns around here and says, "Freaking, you will change how you feel day by day," which means like, hey, listen, everyone says it right. You're gonna go through the motions. You're gonna feel up. You're
Mhm.
gonna feel down. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be sad, etc., etc. Generally, what people say is just go through the motions. You'll come out on top. She's over here saying, I know things change day to day, but it sounds like someone's been chirping in your ear. So who's helping you? That's what it sounds like Erudite is saying here. Yeah, and they knew they had something with that freaking one because they clicked on it. All right, here's the next set.
Yeah, I'm not even sure about the specifics regarding money slash or punishment. I believe in rehabilitation, but part of rehabilitation is penance. The person understands what they did is wrong, takes corrective course of action and actions to help pay penance to the victims and do right by them. I just want to know if Stephen agrees with this and is willing to figure out what this means for to both of us slash in a manner that makes sense to both of us. I don't want to cause unnecessary harm or suffering to Stephen. I want to know he will never do this again and he will think and I think this would be the most effective method of doing so or jail, but I do not want Stephen to go through criminal court because one, our justice system is horrible at getting people to change their behavior, and two, I feel like it would be overkill on my part. So yes, that message that we just read was
Mm,
100% not in the Cope and Seeds video because
this
that
wasn't
I
either.
rem- no, no, part of this one was because I
Oh, was
remember
it?
yeah, I remember her saying like I don't want to cause unnecessary harm or suffering, but I feel like the rest
I
was
feel
blotted
like
out because
that
I don't
was
remember.
in. I feel like that was on Discord though, not in text. But we could be wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
it's been there. The point is, this video was not in the Cope and Seed video.
no,
Now it's entirely possible that these text messages were in the video and were just so cut up and put in certain different places that it just and like because like Zeph said, we would have President Sunday and freaking Stein, whatever the freak talking. Then we would have
Trader Aid.
Schrader. Then we would have freaking Pixie and Erudite talking. Then we had Pixie and Destiny talking. And just back forth, back forth, back forth. And it's just like, can I just get like? I can understand the whole timeline thing, but it was even more difficult to understand when a lot of the stuff didn't even have timestamps on it.
Right.
Like it said yesterday, and there was no like, hey, this is the date that this happened. Like it's again, Copenhagen. I generally enjoy the videos you made. It's just that on that one, it was one of those things that was hard to follow, and we were and I'll be completely honest because of how hard it was to like really follow and understand. It's kind of what made us turn around and be like, this doesn't seem like it's that big of an issue. Like if
Right.
this video here is this like wonkety. Like it doesn't seem like it was that big of an issue, but turns out we were wrong, and that's just what the person who's out at all of this wanted it to look like. You know?
Mhm. Mhm. So Pixie follows. Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh my god.
gosh!
She
Great
But
wall
I
of
totally
text.
understand. But I totally understand if you don't want to talk to Steven about this. I just have been putting it off because the answer is either one, yes, I agree with the course of action. Let's talk about what this would look like in a way that makes sense for both of us. Or two, no, I don't agree and don't want to do that, which then it becomes an okay, now I have to go to court and figure this out. I'm sorry for using you as an intermediary. I can send these messages last conversation to him, myself too. I just feel like if he tells me to directly, that's a weird annotation. All right. If he tells me directly, it would be harder emotionally to handle than if I heard it from you. But I totally understand if it's not something you're comfortable with. And I'm sorry if I put you in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, I am trying to see that too because in the text before that, she already had one and two. Maybe she meant
Mm
three.
hmm. Maybe. Then we have another message at the final.
Oh,
The cap
yeah.
just
Go
went
ahead.
off. It says he also alluded to financial compensation, but I don't think he really understood the concept of proportionality of the action since he asked if there were if there were any bills he could pay for me.
And I just this totally thought like this thought came up to me because I was still thinking about like whether or not we're gonna like post that video. We did all agree in that video. Listen. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but I'm gonna be realistic with you. Pixie is not somebody if that I would brag about being with, man. I'm sorry. All the
Yeah,
world,
I'm like
listen,
it doesn't change.
it
That doesn't
doesn't
change
change
with this. Like
anything.
it
Like it really doesn't. She, in my personal,
yeah.
she is not attractive. I would not have like gone and like the, and then her ex too, or yeah, It's
Fuck
regardless.
boy.
I'm just putting this all out there because it's kind of like the thing that we said, like, we're trying to not like, we're trying to air out anything. If the video doesn't come out, we don't want to be like hiding anything. All of us did say like she's not a very attractive person. None of that matters. This is still wrong, but in my personal opinion, man, I'm not. Uh, it was not something. I just for an empire to potentially fall is typically over a bad bitch. Like it's never like the ghoul from next door. Like, sorry, Pixie, it's completely wrong. You deserve all the money in the world. You were wrong, but at the same time, he's still ugly. Like in my personal opinion, and you could say I'm ugly too. It's totally cool. I just anyways.
He is one ugly motherfucker.
The erudite goes on to say the part here about figuring out what it looks like for you two for him to fix it with you and show proper penance is super fair, and I'm totally comfortable asking him for that. And my read from your guys' DMs and what he's said to me briefly is that he is very open to figuring out what that looks like. I get really annoyed with this whole freaking holy speak, like penance, redemption. Like, it's like, dude, y'all trying to act like this motherfucker a god or something, like with all this shit. Probably framed in the way of punishment is off because it isn't about punishment. It's about making sure he is genuinely remorseful and changing his behavior, is my understanding. Yes. So let me go ahead and again, I'll break it down for you. Probably framed in the way of punishment is off because this isn't about punishment. It's about making sure he genuinely remorseful and changing his behavior, is my understanding. In actuality, what she meant is, so we don't really want him to lose money, right? We really just want him to say sorry. That's like you, right? That's what we want. We want him to say sorry. We don't want him to lose money or anything, right? Like you
You
give
don't
me.
want him to lose a finger, but you want him to, feel like he lost a finger.
She's pretty much, that's why she's saying, that's why she keeps pushing. It is this, so this isn't about punishing him. It's about making sure he knows he did something wrong. We don't want him to have accountability for his actions. We just want him to acknowledge he did something wrong so he can go and do it again. Like, like that's basically what Erudite is saying here.
Get this bitch a broom because she's trying to sweep.
For real. Now, let me rephrase that. I might say this is what she's saying here. I'm saying that that's the way it's coming off as somebody who sees this BS, right? I don't know if this is the way she's meaning it or not 100%, but I would say, nah, I would bet money on it. I'd bet money on it.
So, Pixie responds with, yes, I use the word punishment in exchange for penance because I assume it's something that he won't be happy about doing, but I might be assuming the worst, and those words might be different enough and in terms of connotation that I shouldn't use them interchangeably.
And I don't apologize at all.
And then she says, I
and
will
don't apologize
apologize.
at all.
She says, I will apologize. I don't want to put people in bad position. And I feel like I'm making everyone I talk to kind of sad when I talk about this stuff.
So W to Pixie for that one. Like on that one, yeah. Like we listen again. Criticisms are out there, opinions are out there. Everything. We'll give dubs and we'll give L's. Like yeah, that's a W. That like it's understanding that, because sometimes even when you're the victim, you still turn around and you're like, how it affects the people around you, right? Like the number one thing that she's been was concerned about was her parents finding out about this, most likely because of the way that she feels that they would view her now versus like the image that they have of her in their head, right? Like, so that's the whole situation there. So W to Pixie for her.
Now that I see these messages back to back and I'm getting a little bit more context of what they're talking about and like what's being discussed in full, I'm gonna be honest with you. This erudite person feels like she's using
bro.
She's using layered context and layer wording to specifically leave things vague and try to insinuate one thing when she's actually saying another. And Pixie here, unfortunately, is not picking up on any of it because she's seeing keywords and she's responding to the keywords, such as something about punishment and penance. And then she's like, oh, yes, I'm just using the word punishment because in exchange for penance. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't use them so interchangeably. She didn't really respond to the other part at all. What the lady Erudite's trying to say is like, oh, you want to punish him and make him feel sorry, but you don't want him to actually do
Get
something to
punished.
feel sorry.
You're right.
She's not responding to that at all. She's saying, I just want him to I just want him to do something he's not being sorry about. That could mean anything. You're missing she's missing what she's trying to insinuate.
The thing, yeah, like Pixie definitely got taken advantage again, and that's why I said like the criticisms are there. Pixie, you were very dumb in this situation, and you can't even get mad at me for saying that because she herself even said that she, in her own statement, said that she was dumb for trusting people. Okay, she literally, listen. This is what I've said to everybody. It's what I said to anyone. It's what I said to fucking Links, any motherfucker, but most recently Links. If you build a community and you knowingly allow trolls and trolling in your community or anything of that nature, or bullying, harassment, if you knowingly weaponize that and allow that to be weaponized in your community, you got to look at the people next to you, man. If the person next to you is willing to dox somebody, then they're going to be willing to do it to you. If they're willing to lie about somebody else and you know that, they're willing to do it about you. Anything your friends are willing to do to protect you, they're going to be willing to do to protect themselves. Never forget that. That's always a possibility. I'm not saying that's always going to happen, but when you build a foundation around that type of a community, it's you're eventually going to get swallowed whole. Now, I'm not saying that.
In this online drama sphere, there's no such thing as a one-way street. It's always two-way streets. You can be walking down the same way with one person, but they can be going against you the next. It's
Mhm.
never one way.
And I'm not saying that Link's like freaking was breeding this like troll army or anything. What I am saying is that she definitely utilized those trolls to go after Becky, and Becky utilized her stupid Becky gang to go after Lynx. So when you have that breeding ground for people, there's always going to be that one motherfucker who's like, you know what? Let's set the house on fire next. Like, there's always going to be something like that, okay? So there's always going to be one crazy person like that. Okay.
Whoa.
So I was trying to just get it to go a little bit. There we go. So Erudite turns around and says, I'm asking because I want to be clear with where you are at and clear about what I'm comfortable doing, because I don't want to make you think I could do something I can't or won't. So I'm being pedantic, but it's to make sure I'm respecting you and yourself. You're not making me sad, other than like I'm obviously sad my friend is hurting and was hurt by our other friend. I personally, listen. The fact is this: if Zeph did this to somebody, I would be a one man show at this point, and I would expect the same. Like there is no. I'm sorry that you were hurt by our friend. Like, dude, there's a bit. It's like hurt is we're in the world of feelings. Okay, we need to come to reality. Hurt, it doesn't even get into it. Like literally, this girl forever will have a video of her giving fellatio to one of the most soy bitch boy internet losers there ever has been and probably ever will be. And anywhere she goes for the rest of her life, that video could pop up. She could have kids, and her kids could be sent that video. Like there is no. Hurt is a slap in the face, bro. Like you making it sound.
She could completely get it off the internet. She
Uh-huh.
could go work a job at some random Walmart in Alaska, and then one of the employees and one of the coworkers, one of the patrons to that Walmart or wherever she goes in
Mm-hmm.
Alaska could go find that video, recognize her, and go, "Are you the same chick getting plowed in this video?" And then, yeah,
Well, and then not even that too. Like we don't even know. Like I don't even know or if this happened, and because this happened, she like got boosted by Destiny. Obviously, I would
mm-hmm.
assume that because even like we said in the other video, freaking, you're not gonna be an orbiter if you're a female and you're an orbiter of Destiny. Like, let's be realistic. You ain't just like Hassan. You ain't getting that redirect if you ain't doing something for him. Like, it is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. If you're not
You
toting the
scratch my
same.
back, I scratch yours.
Yeah, if you're not toting the same line and the same rhetoric as Hassan, he's not gonna go ahead and send anyone your way. Like he literally got away with breaking terms of service by sending out freaking the donation links for freaking what's that fat frog Frogan's what her
Rogan.
face, yeah, like when she was
Fuck
banned.
her.
Yeah, so Destiny is no different. You're not a female orbiter of Destiny unless he's gotten it in. Like I'm just being realistic here. 99% of the time. And so her entire streaming career is forever going to be daunted by this as well. Like no matter what she does, no matter where she goes, she could literally become far right conservative. Like, she could do she could do a freaking Elon Musk, all right, on Capitol Square and or freaking Capitol Hill, and people would still turn around and be like, you're that Destiny chick, ain't you?" Like, like it's ruined. Like the hurt just doesn't amount to it, man. And the fact that this, Erudite, and you aren't like immediately turning around and going, "Oh yeah, I quit. I'm done with that." It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I understand waiting to, like, for us, right, and for others, Diorio and freaking other commentary creators and stuff, to wait till they have the full story. Erudite, you have the story. You literally have the story. You know the situation. There is no
You're in the
maybe, like,
situation.
yeah,
You're fully
you're
aware
in
of
the
it.
situation.
You
You
have
know,
the context.
yeah, like this is literally like somebody. Oh my god! Like imagine if these were claims of rape. Like, and she's over here like, I obviously it's not. So the situation is different. But it's like this person is forever gonna have this ghost over their shadow, or this shadow on their back, and this isn't just something you can ignore and it just goes away. This isn't like accusations. This isn't like some. This is a freaking piece of media, and the internet is forever. It,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. With friends like Erudite, who needs enemies, man? You know?
All right. So Pixie says, "Yeah, honestly, I feel comfortable sending him these messages and asking him what does he think this would look like if you're telling me he is comfortable with the idea of proportional penance and how that would look like." She loves run-on sentences. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just felt like he didn't understand when he said he would pay some bills for me because it makes me feel like he's telling me, quote, "Oh, I'm sorry that happened. Here's $200. I hope that makes you feel better." Quote unquote. Which I think really underestimates the gravity of the situation, to put it lightly, and somehow makes me feel like a cheap prostitute. So this is also a message that we really heavily criticize, because we said if that's how you feel, that's probably how you were, because we didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
full context to what happened.
Well,
So
there's also some of this stuff. I don't know if they were as the text or again in
we saw this message like
we did
first,
see
and then all
this,
the
yeah.
we saw
Because
this one like first, and then
we didn't
the other
have
ones were
these,
like way
yeah.
after.
Like these
Like
ones right
that.
here, the whole apologize, I remember that part. But then when it comes to here, it's like there's way more context now. There's just so much more context. There's just
Mhm.
really is. There's just so much more context. And for those of you who are like, well, why didn't you just wait? This right here, this
This
okay,
video did not exist.
this stuff was on, I think, what, the 21st or the 22nd. We literally recorded we recorded the very first installment of the Destiny saga on Wednesday night. Like
Mhm.
we so much stuff going on. Like I know excuses, but it's like, so this happened so fast. Like the leaks were months
Mhm.
ago, but this story didn't hit until like the last 2 weeks. Like didn't really explode until the last 2 weeks. Anyways.
So she follows it up with that message and says, "Or it makes me feel like that, or it makes me feel like that's how severe he perceives his actions to be. Lol. But yeah, obviously, do whatever is most respectful towards you. Do you think it would be okay if I sent these messages to him? Slash, is that something you would be comfortable with?"
To which she, Erudite, come on, slow scroll. I'm assuming that's not the end. There we go. Erudite turns around and says, "I think he was worried you would feel he's paying for your silence, but didn't want to help. But did want to help, but didn't want to overstep. I think he is offering a lot more than how you read it, but I totally understand why you read it that way."
He says, "Okay, that makes me feel a lot better." Slash, "I think I'm ready to reach out to him using this conversation as a starting point, if you're okay with that. Like, I'll send him the conversation slash text so he can see where I'm coming from." She loves to use the slashes. I don't know why, but it Anyway.
Okay, there we go. So it says, Erudite turns around and says, sure, but what I would outline isn't a clear ask, but a question of what you feel you need from him and what he's willing to give, I guess.
She says, "Yeah, that makes sense. I really hope we can figure out a compromise and what works for both of us. Can you tell Steven to add me back on Can you tell Steven to add me as a friend on Discord? I blocked him for a bit to stop myself from sending suicidal messages to him, and now I realized I can't send him messages until he adds me back as a friend." So, and that message right there, that final one, probably was enough for people to go, "Oh, so you just want to send him suicidal tendency messages." And that definitely doesn't help your case, because it does sound like you're somebody who, in pressurized moments like this,
No, well,
you
it also
resort
sounds,
to,
yeah. It also doesn't sound good because it can be looked at as maliciously as well. Like,
yeah,
I can't just stop
yeah.
sending. Like, it could look like eventually
I
you
just can't
send
help
one to.
myself from sending suicidal messages.
Right. I can't help myself. So yeah, this was on the 21st. So this was literally, I mean, it's not fucking time stamped or
What was
anything.
the second? I feel like we watched
No,
the
yeah,
video,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
We
what's
haven't. Yeah, we're gonna go on that one as well. But I was just
okay?
making sure that this was January 21st, which oh no, that's a Tuesday instead. Regardless. Listen, there was a ton of it's hard to keep up, man, between so many different things. But okay, yeah. So we had that. Next, I believe is we
Oh, another
definitely
video.
watched that one and this one. Yeah. You think about yeah. Okay, so here's the second video. No. Okay. I hate this freaking. There we go.
You did it so smoothly the first time.
Yeah, you know. Okay. I'm assuming that this is still between Erudite and yeah, Erudite and Pixie. So Erudite starts off by saying, hey, I want to chat tonight after dinner. I might call no matter what because I'm worried.
Pixie says, "Hi, I can call tomorrow for sure. Mostly been sleeping today."
Erudite turns around and says, okay, I'll call you today. She looks like, I don't know if they called maybe on Discord or not, but not over her phone. It says, hey, I'm still worried about for you. Are you okay? No matter what, please never hesitate to reach out.
This is a different
Is
person.
this,
Or maybe
yeah,
it's
I'm
not.
sorry for getting it. No, we read this part, right? Oh, this is the continuation of this text right here. That's what
Mm.
that is. Okay, so we've already read the first part of that. Okay, so Erudite turns around and says, I know we chatted already, but I want you to hear this again. I am not mad. I do not blame you. You're not on phone for anything people are saying about me. I really, really am sorry. She took a screenshot of the High Kayla thing that has been circulated all over the place. It says that she sent that to Tom. I'm assuming that's Turkey Tom. Continues on by saying, also keep me updated if you're willing on this non-consent stuff. That's a hard line for me. You're willing on this update. Keep me
Mm.
updated if you're willing on this non-consent stuff. I'm trying to think what words could have been auto-corrected if that, because that's obviously that's not, the sentence is wrong. Willing to move on this non-consent stuff, willing to drop, willing to blank on this non-consent stuff, willing to, you're willing on this non-consent, I don't know, willing to move past something. But who knows? There, speculation only does so much. She continues on to say, just wanted to check in. I spoke with Tom specifically about our convo in the cafe and why I have been taking your suicidal feelings very seriously. In it, I mentioned the pills you had access to. I know you said anything, everything, but do you want me to ask him to bleep that bit out more so? Bleep that bit out, period. More so allow the vague mention that I felt that your suicide Suicide threat was credible, and I took it incredibly seriously. Okay, it is Turkey Tom because not so erudite did do an interview with Turkey Tom, which we'll also be reacting to.
So she responds with, "Whatever you think is best. I'm okay with people knowing I've been suicidal. It's already out there."
Oh, well, that's that. She says, okay, thanks. I am working on my own statement and will link you any additional screen caps I might use. We'll blur out things you mentioned. And if I miss anything or you want additional stuff removed or excluded, just tell me. You get to drive the ship. All right. So that's Not So Erudite's original message that we just went over. Here, is it all the same? Okay, I thought it had gotten shorter. It's still all exactly the same. So the in person and all that, I believe we've seen all of this. The through it, want to chat. I don't really know. Okay, here we go. So she said she spoke with Pixie in person. So these are the text messages between her and Pixie on December 12th. She says, hey, Pixie says hi, want to chat or just have a friend? I'm worried about you.
Pixie says, "I don't really know what to say. I'm not planning to KMS or anything at this moment, but I feel like I'm so tired over living, and I feel like I'm never going to live in a world where I find justice or peace. And it's like I'm just trying to give myself a few days before I make any final decisions, but the writing is on the wall."
Erudite turns around and says, that tells me everything. I'm really sorry. I won't begin to tell you I understand because I don't, but I do care. I do want to see you safe and find peace and pursue justice. Can I be annoying and ask to spend some time with you? So it looks like Pixie is asking, are you in Florida right now? When do you go somewhere? That got cut, so I'm
Probably
assuming,
home.
yeah.
Can we do 1 p.m.? It's also super windy where you're at.
1 second.
This is all
She
just
says,
regular talk.
yeah, it's quite windy. I have a train to catch this evening. The river, etc., etc. Blah blah blah. Running very late, so it's pretty much just showing, hey, that she's,
I was checking in on
I
this
was
person,
checking in on this person. Yeah, that's
trying to
exactly
hang out with them, trying to be cordial, trying to be their friend.
right. Which is what she said. She made it a clear desire for me to bridge the gap between her and Steven, and her desire for as little attention on the leaks as anything identifying as possible, which we have all known. Both my involvement and my silence were at Pixie's request, so just wanted to check in on you, check in with you. Also, a heads up, I'm considering blocking your name in my chat for today's stream because I don't want people even mentioning your leaks right now, to keep everything as quiet as possible until you decide what you want to do. Just in case you hear your name is blocked, that would be why. That kind of puts more fire on it. Like, ignoring it
Tries
kind
it
of
in
does
effect.
you, yeah, it does more because now people are going to be wondering, oh, she must be blocking the name because it's true. But if you
Mhm.
prefer, I don't just tell. If you prefer, I don't just tell me whatever makes you comfortable. Makes you feel most comfortable.
And at some point, she was responding to something that says, "Why?" And she says, "Because I genuinely thought he cared slash was sad, lol."
But it looks like this is the second where she says yes on. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, honestly, and then yes, honestly, I would prefer that. Makes my life easier, makes me less likely to hear bad stuff. And then she said, "I want to check in with you again." And she's responding to that saying, "I'm okay spending time with my family in PR,
Which I have no idea what PR is.
Puerto Rico."
Um, that makes sense. All right. He then turns around. My greatest concern this whole time has been her well-being. Here are the logs, first and second. I'm trying to hard focus. Is this? Did you end up talking to? Yeah, sounds like.
Oh my god.
Oh, hold on. This was the minute. This is what we watched. This is what we already. Yeah. Okay, there's the two videos that I think that we already looked at. Mostly been sleeping today. Yep. Those are the two videos that we
Okay,
already looked
good.
at.
Because I was like, if we
Okay.
have a whole nother like a minute and a half of messages to
Right.
go through, holy shit.
So this is a picture. This is an image that I think most people have seen between
I
Erudite
was
and
wondering who
Fairy
IFQ
Queen.
was.
Yeah. So here's the thing: we totally 100% smashed on erudite for this. Well, that's a terrible sentence. We
Mm.
100% like went after erudite for this BSery. Okay, she completely in this screenshot leaves out the fact that she she blocked Fairy Queen. Okay, so I'm gonna read this and again I'm gonna do the part of erudite and explain exactly what she meant to my interpretation. So erudite reaches out to Fairy Queen and says, "Hey, Fairy Queen, I get that you're mad at me, and that's fair. We've got our differences, but I wanted to ask you to think about the people involved in the leaks. I've been talking with them, and they really want as little attention on this as possible. Your comment is kind of confirming that it's them, which they are denying, and drawing more attention to it. For their sake, I'd really appreciate if you consider removing that part from your comment."
Fairy Queen responds with 1. Do you acknowledge that Melina is claiming Steven shared those videos without her consent? 2. Have you confronted Steven privately about this? And 3. Will you disassociate from him for sharing another woman's sex tapes without her consent?
And then Fairy Queen turns around and says, "Gotcha. I am not an extension of Steven. You're not a feminist." So
Oh, holy shit.
here's
Look
the
at the time.
issue.
Look at
Here,
the time gap. Look at the
December
time gap.
31st,
December 22nd to all the way to December
mm,
31st. She sent that message at least a week and a half before she ever got a response.
mm-hmm. And it took her an out, almost 30, 40
Whenever
minutes to
this
respond. So here's the
yeah.
issue. I'm not an extension of Steven. Oh, you're not an extension of Steven? So why are you trying to bridge the gap between her and Steven?
Mhm.
You are literally on one hand saying, I'm bridging the gap, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm the go-between, I'm trying to be nice, I'm trying to get everyone to the table. But on the other hand, oh, I can't answer for Steven. I can't
You
answer
are
for Steven. Nope,
100%
can't
an
answer for
extension
him.
of Steven. Get out of here.
You're literally his co-host. It'd be the same thing as if freaking I mean, we've even had a fucking arguments about this, but if Zeph goes ahead and invites somebody onto the after show, he's still an extension of myself. Even though I personally may not want that person on the show, they're going to assume the invitation is being extended by the both of us. So it's the same thing. You're literally his co-host. Secondly, you're not a feminist. That tells me everything I need to know about freaking erudite. The fact that this person had questions immediately means that he is not someone who supports women and is not a feminist and is actually, obviously, as this person is trying to imply, is anti-woman and wants women to be harassed, etc., etc. Trying to say that this person isn't a feminist, blocking them without even answering anything when you know answers to these questions. Like, here, have you confronted Steven privately about this? You don't need to be a feminist, nor do you need to be an extension of Steven to be able to answer that question. Secondly, will you disassociate from him for sharing another woman's sex tape without her consent? Again, that's a personal question. You don't have to be an extension of Steven in order to answer that. Do you acknowledge that Melina is claiming Steven shared these videos without her consent? Wow, would you look at that? Another thing you don't have to be an extension of Steven
Mhm.
to answer. These are all personal questions that were directed to you. They were directed to you. This is how you can tell that she's a freaking snake, bro. She is
Sweep,
straight.
sweep, sweep, sweep,
Yeah.
sweep, sweep.
Oh, because you didn't immediately do as I asked, you're not a feminist. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Fairy Queen. First and foremost, I'm going to be honest. I'm keeping to the Streisand effect. You can't ask people to not do something that's going to make them want to do it. I understand turning around and asking people like, "Hey, can you maybe take away your comment saying that it is these people because they're trying to deny it currently?" I understand you wanting to do that, but the problem is that the more they deny it, the more people are going to look into it to prove them wrong. That's how the internet
That's
works.
probably this is probably one of Pixie's biggest faults is as soon as this leak came out, her biggest and I think we said this in that episode as well. Her biggest fault is probably instead of, just going, "Yep, that's me," like I have to own up to it, like I can't deny it.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "No, that's not me," for I think about a week or so. I don't really know the full timeline on that one,
Well,
but she denied it at first.
it's been longer than that because this actually goes all the way back to the freaking inauguration stream or not the
God damn.
inauguration stream. It goes back, not the
Election stream.
election stream. Yeah. Because that in the same, here's the funny thing: people didn't even know what was happening in the same stream with the Boblax leaks. They were talking about this, but in code. Like they were talking about these
Mm.
leaks, but like with the understanding that they knew what was going on, but other people didn't. Like, and that's going to be in the Dioria video that we're going to be watching as well. So it says here with the I fought with him and advocated for reconnecting with Pixie. So this is
Oh, this has got to be good.
Erudite is saying, I don't think she wants a payday. I mean, come on.
Kind of does.
Like she kind of does. Like she wants him to have consequences, but also wants to get paid. She did say that she would pretend like give it to charity. So she maybe
But she was
she's not
okay
gonna,
with him giving it to charity.
yeah, or she was okay with him giving it to charity. But like you would need to be like, in order for him to actually receive any sort of consequences, it would have to be sent to her and then she could donate it by court, you know. Anyways, she wants you to have a consequence for what she thinks was a major breach of trust. There's merit in that. You should engage with her because she was / is your friend, and you genuinely do feel you did bad. I'm assuming. If she's genuinely trying to fleece you, you will be able to catch it in the combo. If you're wrong about her and she's just funked up over this and icing her out makes it worse, that's the worst possible outcome. Option 1, add her and talk to her. Pros: she doesn't go nuclear for now. Con: maybe she's trying to fuck with you and the texts are annoying. Worst outcome: you have to block her later because she was trying to get a payday from you. Best outcome: she just wants to know her friends feel bad and know it was wrong and settles. No nukes and you did right by your friend. Best outcome is she decides not to go public, totally is okay with being quiet about it, and everyone goes about their business. That's literally what it is. Option 2, you can continue to avoid talking to her. Pros: less immediate problems like having to text her. Con: she goes nuclear publicly. Worst outcome: she wasn't trying to fleece you. She goes public and kills herself. Best outcome: she was lying about the public threat and everything fades and you lose a friend for sure. Maybe more than one. I don't understand how these are supposed to paint her in a good light.
She's being super analytical
I don't
of
understand. No, hold on. This
potentially.
is, I fought with him and advocated for reconnecting with Pixie. Okay, this is a one-side argument right here. We don't see his response. We don't see previous to this. We don't see anything. If anything, it looks like she was messaging right here. Like if you look where it says right under Destiny, right above Eru, it shows text right there. It looks like she sent another wall of text. This doesn't show me like this
This
isn't.
is mitigation of outcomes. This is literally like you breaking it down for him, saying this is what you can do. This is
Well,
not you trying like this is not you advocating for one way or another. This is you giving him all the options on the
this is
table. I don't know what the this is not what you think it is.
this is you basically doing risk assessment. This isn't you wanting to
Mhm.
reconnect with him. This is you saying, all right, so this is what's going on. Best case scenario, if you talk to her, she annoys you, you block her again. Worst case scenario, she kills herself and you're fucked. That's literally what this like. This isn't a Destiny. You should really talk to her. You should really get in contact with her. I mean, you should let her just explode and be mad at you because you really fucked it up. Like, just do whatever. Like that is you trying to get him to reconnecting. This is you saying. So I talked to our lawyers and they think that this is the best potential These are the two potential options that are going to be in the fallout of all of this. You a snake. You a straight snake. And then this is her saying this is the basically saying you're allowed to say this BS. Ugh. Listen. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're wrong about erudite. Maybe the sky isn't blue. You know, sometimes throughout the day it's orange. I can admit that. But to me, it just looks like she really wanted to be what She really wanted to be the go-between between Destiny and Pixie, because if Destiny is seen asking all of these questions, it doesn't look good. It looks 100%. Nobody will believe that he's asking these out of the betterment of the situation.
This just makes her look like she's Destiny's little lapdog, and she's just trying to
She's
do
acting like
as
yeah.
Destiny's command. Like she
She's
says
just
she's not an extension of Destiny, but like brother, sister, whatever you are, you're acting like an extension of Destiny by trying literally
she's a
doing risk
freaking.
assessment, bro.
I wouldn't even say acting like an extension. She's like a freaking pit bull, like a freaking an attack dog, bro.
She's trying to get out in front of it. She's like trying to jump in front of the bullet before it even gets there, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
here, stop, don't do it.
Well, I mean, and then on top of it too, it's like you, I know I just clicked off of it, but it's like there was a part in there where she was like, and you do feel sorry. Like it wasn't like it was more so like a PR rep telling him like, remember,
Mhm.
remember, look sad.
This
Like
is what you're
that's what
supposed to
it's
do.
yeah,
This is how you're supposed to feel.
mm-hmm. That's what it seemed like more than anything. Like freaking doing hair and makeup and like, remember Destiny, remember Steven,
Mhm.
you got to be upset. We got to work on those tears. We got to get them flowing as soon as possible. So here's I'm gonna assume it's just Cherry but named or spelt differently. Here's another person who went ahead and came forward 2 days ago. Says Destiny has blocked me and banned me and people supporting me from his community. I have not done anything besides ask him for an explanation, as I was assured this was something he didn't do to me. When I was given one privately, I spoke publicly. I am not okay. Okay. I will say this. There in most circumstances, it should end where it started. If it started privately, it should end privately. Like if it didn't make it public, it should
Mm.
end privately. If it was put out in the public, it should end in the public, right? That's how it should always be. So that being said, not having read the rest of it, I don't know if she goes into detail about what was said privately, but if she asked a question, didn't like the response, and then went public with it, that's a little fucked up. Unless the question was, hey, did you send our like sex videos to people without my consent? And the answer was yes, absolutely go public with it. Again, just going off the first paragraph here. She said, I am not involved in any lawsuit or coordinating with anyone seeking justice due to the leaks in November, though they have had my empathy and support in the effort or in their effort. It is only yesterday I became aware that Destiny had recorded me while we had sex without my consent and with no regard for me. See, there you go. Also shared that recording to others. 2 women have now let me know they have received sexual recordings taken of me in September of 2023 without my consent. I thank them so much for their concern for me. No amount of public humiliation will ever make me regret being made aware of what was done to me. I will be filing a police report and pressing charges. This is all I've got to say. This is all I've got to say about this statement. Yo, bitches, where was you in 2023? I'm just saying. Where were you in 2023?
A
Not you,
whole
Cherry.
year.
Not
Whoa,
you, Cherry.
yeah.
September 2023, they received the video recording of Cherry, and we're in 2025 right now, January 2025. That's a year and some change. Where were you? Where were you,
Bro,
ladies?
they really want to orbit whole.
I'm just
What
saying.
about him? What about him is so interesting where they're just
Money,
like,
bro. It's just money.
yeah.
It's money.
Oh my
It's
god. Like
money,
I don't
fame,
get it. I don't get
clout,
it.
micro
It's so not like
celebrity, bro. It's because we don't have that brain. I promise you guys, I know you guys are looking and being like, oh well, it's easy to say how you'll act at 1,000,000 subs versus 1,000 or 2,000 or 2,000,000, right? The only switch up is I'm gonna be in a nicer place. Maybe I drive a nicer car, maybe I have more toys, more expensive toys. But me as a human being, bro, it
yeah.
didn't change it. Listen, since because I consider myself rich now compared to the money I used to have, okay, which was zero back in the day. So I consider myself rich currently. So I'm not even acting this way, even though I consider myself rich now. And I'm not talking about rich freaking like billions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars. I'm like, oh, I can afford all of the stuff that I need to afford and I have money for the movies. bro, we balling.
Ooh.
Like,
You telling me I can go to McDonald's and go see Sonic 3? Let's go.
exactly. But I say that to say this, y'all switch up for the worst of people, bro. And I'm telling you, if you those two chicks right there, you don't have any right. If this something like this happens to you, you don't have any right to get upset at the people who don't tell you, because you didn't fucking tell this chick for fucking what a year. It was September to September plus what 4 months. That's a year and 4 months or so, bro.
Let me just paint this very clear. If for whatever reason we ever get orbiters that think that they can use this as a they can try this method of things, and for some reason Complexity gets a great idea to just give in, and next thing I know I'm hearing that he's recorded somebody and he's sending it out. First things first is, I don't care who you are, I'm gonna let the person who got recorded know, and then I'm gonna look at Complexity and say, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not gonna be like erudite and go between them and be like, so this is what I think you might want to do. I can't help you financially. I can't really suggest things for you, but I can really just be here and be a shoulder to cry on, I guess.
I mean, listen. There's just yeah. Well, we've had some. I mean, you guys can go back and watch our video on Frogan. You guys can go back and watch a lot of our like body cam videos. You guys can go back and watch like anytime we've talked about like heavier subjects or anything like that. We've never switched up. Like we've always tried to keep things like super chill, super friendly, super fun over here. But like whenever it comes to this type of stuff, man, listen, pedos deserve wood chippers. And I'll even say this: you deserve to be shot dead. Like it just is what it is. I could get the video demonetized. Truth is truth, bro. I don't care. Like it's
It
the
is what it
same. It
is.
is. Yeah, we have never switched up a day in our lives when we come to our moral compass. We might turn around and laugh. We might like make fun of and cope with things with laughing or whatever when it comes to some seriously dark shit like most people do. Like, but as far as like standards and morals go, nah, bro. Like,
That's why we felt like it's responsible. It's the more responsible thing for us to do, to make a video like this where we look back on the exact same thing. A lot of those messages that we just read, we're reading for a second time because we did read them, but we didn't read them in the full context, and they weren't given to us in the way that they should have been, personally, the way I
mm,
think of it. So we're going back and we're essentially, I wouldn't say rewriting history, but amending our history, because some of the things that we said were at a misinformed place.
right. And on top of it too is like because we knew we didn't have. Oh, you'll even see in the video, right? Like I'm like 99% certain it's gonna come out. Like I'll have to rewatch it just to be sure. Like I really truly don't want to cut anything out of a video other than like dead air or something. And if I feel like I have to cut a portion of the video out, regardless if it's for her benefit or for, I mean, well, it would never really be for our benefit because I seriously don't care. But if we do have to actually like cut something of us saying something out because of the level of insensitivity, it's just best to not have it come out anyways, because then it's just
Mhm.
gonna look like we're covering ourselves up, we're sweeping, we're making
Weeping.
it, yeah, it's eventually, I'd much rather just be able to say, guys, we took an L on that video, we admit it, and we're sorry, rather than putting it out there.
Mhm.
Like if that's the case, that's the case. But regardless, so I'm not reading this because
Holy
I'm
fuck.
not reading this in any way, shape, or form. Because one, this is Reddit, so I'm probably gonna catch cancer about 3 paragraphs in. But basically, this right here is Destiny's mod team over on the Reddit issued a statement, as you can see, a very, very short one. And basically in this statement, they said, hey guys, by the way, we're not going to talk about any of the Destiny leaks. If you do talk about the Destiny leaks, we're going to completely lock this shit down. Nobody's going to be allowed to talk. And as you can see, it said it got locked down within 40 minutes. So
Hey, bro, I ain't reading your Bible.
yeah, pretty much. I'm not reading all that, bro. I ain't reading all that. Also, President Sunday recorded Diorio and leaked the audio with Diorio in President Sunday's video. As if you guys are watching this, then you should probably know about that. Without Diorio's consent, it seems a lot of people are doing that around here. And so he painted Diorio also in a bad light. Like he utilized Diorio's name and name integrity and the weight that came with his name as an investigator to push his agenda and basically say that he was basically make it look like he was endorsed by Diorio. I mean, shit, he even named the video Diorio's statement on the Destiny leaks or something like that, as if he was literally interviewed for the whole situation.
Bro, so
it's
disingenuous.
it's absolute. It's not. It's a dude. It's he snaked him. He 100% went to like. It's just wrong. Anyways,
Erudite snaky, President Sunday snaky, straighter
yeah.
eight snaky. Holy
So
shit!
we'll get we'll get more into that whole drama on the Diorio video. So here we go. We have some Diorio saying it in fact was not coordinated. So we've got Destiny saying solid sloth. I don't think anyone went against her wishes. If I had to guess based on the timing of the videos plus her statement, it was probably all coordinated. He then looks like replying to Cream on Mushroom. I'm 99% sure there's basically zero recourse available to her, which is why I wanted to work it out independently. But I've always told her she's free to do what she wants. Allow me to go ahead and say this. It's not a core. Listen, you can tell coordinated attacks, okay? And the reason why you can tell a coordinated attack is because everybody says the same narrative. The entire thing here has been who's the leaks? How did it get leaked? Is there a hacker? Did he send it to this person? How many people did he send it to? Was it this person? Was it that person? Who leaked these DMs? Who's leaking those DMs? Did Sunday leak these DMs? Or is there like there was so much going on? There was people were fumbling and dropping the ball like Butterfingers, you know. Okay, like they were in a vat of grease. So much information was just coming out all over the place, way too incoherently for it to be a coordinated attack. Secondly, I will say this, Destiny, you're wrong. Like, there's always a course of action, legally speaking. It just doesn't, it's just, you have to outweigh the cost benefit, you know,
May not be the
it.
best course of option for you, but
Mhm.
there's always recourse.
Yeah, and it generally, I'm going to be honest, when it comes to like this type of stuff, I mean, it would be a very long battle, and Destiny has the money to wait her out. Like it's just it is what it is. He has the ability to wait her out in a legal battle if he just keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing, and she has to keep paying for lawyer. I mean, she's already started a GoFundMe to sue him for this one, for this one thing, and she definitely needs all the help that she can get because let's be realistic, like Destiny's a multimillionaire, like um. So Diorio, these are the alleged messages between Pixie and Destiny. I'm not sure why they chose to redact her messages, but I've done so for consistency. Now, these messages here that were freaking redacted, who I assume, I don't know why they were redacted, but I'm assuming the redaction came from from whomever leaked these, because these all right here is her talking about wanting to kill herself. All of these are her talking about like wanting to murk herself because of all of this. No, I'm not going to say all of them. This one, I don't know. Not this one. I don't know. But this one for sure. Nope. This one for sure. I definitely know it was because Diorio like has the unredacted ones.
He also goes, hold up there.
Yeah.
Like he goes, whoa.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, hold on
this.
So it starts with Pixie and she says hi, Steven, and I believe it like right here it's something along the lines of like I haven't decided to off myself yet or something like that. I don't 100% remember. Destiny turns around and says, hold up there, what's up? These are in the Cope and Seed video, I will say that. So Destiny says, hi, how are you doing? Redacted. Destiny, as far as this particular thing goes, I don't really think any of it leaves this orbit except for a few random / deranged hater people online. You're dude. No.
So
No,
not true.
no, not true.
So not true.
So not
Holy shit.
true, bro. And Destiny knows better. Like you literally went on to lolcow live, Destiny. Stop, bro. Um, and then it says, like seriously, let's talk about contrast, right? Freaking lolcow live and Destiny. Who would have seen the day? Anyways, random deranged hater people online. Even for my stuff, most of the mainstream attention was on the BJ vid. That was basically 98% of the talk I saw publicly about it. He's talking about the one that was between him and freaking people speculating Nick
Nick
Fuentes.
Fuentes.
And then the 1% was about the Lawrence stuff, which is his ex-wife, him talking about like the two of them going back and forth and saying basically openly blackmailing each other, or he openly blackmailed her by saying like, hey, if you want to leak this shit, then I'll leak this. You don't want to leak that, so don't make me leak this, like etc etc. Just petty retarded shit back and forth. I'm sure there would be a few losers on Twitter who might try to DM you or something, but if you block and move on, I'm pretty sure no one would say or mention anything like a couple of weeks from now. Wrong. Even the Kiwi farm people have already largely moved on from it. Bro. Kiwi farm is literally there for people who don't want to move on. Like they're immortalizing all the information they're gathering. It's never going to be taken down. Okay, so these are out of order. How are you doing? It says today at 11. I don't have timestamps here, so that kind of fucking sucks. Yesterday. Oh yeah, it says hold up there. What's up? That's the message that first messages. Okay. So this freaking is a super long read. I'm not gonna read it. You can pause and look if you want, because this is like there is just so much here.
He's basically just like breaking down her argument on why she's feeling the way she's feeling.
Well, well, you know what? These people actually aren't going to be able to read it. Because of the cameras. It just says, I feel like it's hard for me to give you advice since I'm obviously implicated in everything, but I would still say something to the following of this. Blink. He gave her PR advice. He said that she has legal options available. Also told her, hey, look, things die out pretty fast in a couple of weeks. Nobody's really going to believe, like, or no one's really going to care about any of this stuff. Then in the third paragraph, he says, you know, you've accomplished a lot of things in this past couple of years. When I met you a few years ago, you were yo-yoing, etc., like you've come a long way. Basically, those are the three paragraphs he wrote out. Things down eventually. You can outlive this. You still have legal options you can take against me, and you've come so far. Don't kill yourself, basically. Destiny turns around and says, basically, this is him offering the money again, or not again, but this is in reference to him offering money. He says, this feels super lame, and I don't at all want to imply that somehow just giving you money helps anything go away or fixes everything for you. But if you have any bills or owe money or anything, or have any financial stuff I can help with, I can try at the very least chip in and help you with any of that, so it's at least one less thing you have to worry about or stress over while you're worrying about getting through this. And that right there was the message that I was talking about, that Destiny, this is a win-win for Destiny. Either she takes the money and she gets discredited in the eyes of a lot of people, or she doesn't have to take the money and he could literally just use this and say, hey man, like I offered. So here's so this is from the President's Sunday video. Freaking Turkey Tom was reacting to the President's Sunday video, and Dan actually calls into Turkey Tom to talk to him about all the Pixie drama, or like try to explain his interaction with Pixie. So that's for another video. This is Loner Box, the guy that was dating Pixie. I don't know if he still is, basically turning around and signal boosting Pixie's post, as Diorio says, which is good guy him, sucks to be him, really, really does. Just things are generally. Oh, right. So these are today's. This was a gem from Destiny today.
Oh,
bro,
boy.
If I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking like 20 other streamers with me. Okay. First and foremost, I don't think I don't think you can get put on the sex offender list for sending like porn of other people. I don't like it's I
Maybe
believe that
I
people, but see, here's the
there's
thing.
so many new laws that are coming about this stuff
But it
lately
doesn't
that it's
it
like it's
wouldn't make
hard to follow.
but it wouldn't make sense to do it because if the person on the opposite end wants it, it's not like it's not you're not breaking their trust. You're not hurting them. You're hurting the person that is
Right.
like you're sending it of that they're not like consensually getting like saying yes, you can send it, right? So I don't know. Destiny, in fact, it's actually super epic and hilarious when vids of guys get leaked or when you tweet out random sexual details like 15 to, I don't know exactly, that might be an emoji or some shit, to epically own them publicly. Yeah, definitely seems remorseful. Seems super remorseful. And then he's
Oh
got,
my.
yeah, this is freaking him spazzing out in Discord, apparently. He's responding to people. I'm going to be honest, it's not even really worth reading this because it's just a one sided thing. He's just spurging.
Mm-hmm.
He's going, he's having himself
Losing
an
it.
issue. This is from Stardust, another freaking poll from the Discord. Destiny, Pixie, and the people behind her just want money, so there's no point in going after the hacker. He's probably some broke loser anyway, so they aren't even mentioning him. Basically, this is just Destiny here saying that all Pixie wants is money, and that's it. I mean, that's how it came off in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything. Here's people talk. This is the Just Talk guy who's also in freaking the Cope and See video and basically just doing another signal boost. This was interesting. So apparently this is a from a live stream that was 8 months ago, and one of the girls here, this one, she actually outs Destiny for no, she actually outs Destiny and says that she knew because he did it to her as well. So let me just zoom in real quick and we'll get this. So there is going to be obviously music in the background and all that, but so I know you, hopefully you guys will be able to hear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of ignored that. I never really cared about
They
that.
keep saying that you smashed Destiny. Is that true? I'm a bit of a Destiny hater.
I hate Destiny. I fucking hate that.
Whoa, we didn't answer the question here.
Yeah, we smashed multiple times. We smashed.
So she says right there, we smash multiple times, admitting to it, like I mean, listen, just it's smart to do, like up
Just
front, just own it.
We smashed.
I'm your goon, 2025, baby.
Exactly.
And then he fucked me over multiple fucking times.
Who hasn't that guy fucked over?
He secretly records women in his apartment. It's a fucking federal. Sorry, not federal. It's a felony.
Yeah, because he's
It's
horny.
a felony. No, he's a piece of shit.
I mean, that is.
I was a good friend to him for a long fucking time, and he screwed me over on multiple accounts.
All right, just a little advice. I'm pretty sure you guys are way bigger streamers and all that, but get fucking microphones next to the people who need to be heard. Stop shoveling freaking, I don't know, bar stools around. But as you guys heard, she even says
Yeah,
that he recorded her without her knowledge, and she knew about it, and that's just something that he does. This is 8 months ago.
Women in his apartment. It's a fucking federal. Sorry, not federal. It's a felony.
yeah, because he's
It's a
horny.
felony. No,
So this is why I said I thought this had been known about him. That's why I was like way more critical of freaking Pixie for getting upset over the fact that he shared like videos of her, the video of her, because in my mind this is just known that this is what he does. Like
Almost like people have like been saying like, oh, he leaks these, he leaks this, and like nobody's like
nobody
taking it
believed him.
serious.
Just
and,
nobody believed him.
and they're like, oh shit, he actually does that. Oh, okay.
Well, and then the other thing too, the reason for it is that like the reason for it is because he has that little echo chamber of his. That's just people like, I mean, look, you saw the mods on his Reddit. They're like, oh, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about the leaks, you can't talk about the situation, you can't anything, and or else we're deleting, we're locking down the Reddit, nobody's allowed to post, etc., etc. And it happened. Like that's what you get. It's crazy how much Destiny and freaking Hassan hate each other when they're literally just two freaking sides of the same retard. Like, Jesus.
True. True.
So here's the leaks, the full on 100 caught to right, like he did it and is admitting, and I'm not even admitting, this is him doing it right here. Destiny 10/4/2022. I don't think I have much BJ stuff recorded. Rose, the freaking 19-year-old only thought. It's fine. He. Destiny. Ooh, there was a. Now, this is creepy. This is some creepy shit. I'm just going to be honest. This is some creepy shit. Ooh, there was a girl once. She was young, so she was kind of new and wasn't that good. Now, I understand he's explaining it to that, but you could have completely left out the young part out. You could have easily said she wasn't very experienced. Like, I don't know. To me, it seemed like that was a humble brag. That's what it sounded like. It wasn't very good. She was just hold on to me and tongue robbity blah blah blah, right? Then Rose turned around and said, "I'd love it, OMG," and he obviously sent it to her. So it's just, bro,
Holy
caught
shit!
in 4K.
Caught red and caught in 4K.
There's nothing else other, like, there's 100%, you know. And this is the thing too here, right? Like, because this is under the Dextro post by freaking Diorio, where it says he's denied accusations that deliberately leaked claiming the leak happened without knowledge, consent, or authorization. And he says, is this what Dextro deems to be an accident or to be accidental, right? It's just crazy. Oh, and then we have retarded people like this right here. I don't know if you're deliberate, if you are a deliberate retard, or you have or you're working on it, but this is a private message. It's completely plausible a private message didn't get leaked by someone other than him. It's also plausible that Destiny had no knowledge of it being leaked by private party. Wow.
What?
So what you mean is it's wrong that Destiny had his DMs leaked non-consensually? That's wow, bro. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Oh man, if only there was a reason why you shouldn't do that, and if only there was recompense for that.
For real. And you know what? It's hilarious. Here, obviously, Diorio responds, he leaked the sex tape to a total stranger. Get the dick out of your mouth. Alex responds, I'll add on this too. Happy to jump into your live stream and debate you on this anytime. Aaron, the voice of reason, comes in with the, you're going to debate the sharing sexual content of someone without their consent is okay. Are you stupid? Alex, back to grade school classes for you.
Please tell me this guy went on Nick
He did it. But Alex, middle-aged man who likes a lot of things and has a bunch to say. I gave up on greatness years ago. Yeah.
We can tell.
I would have too.
We can tell.
Yeah, this is not the version of owning it, publicly apologizing and privately compensating those harmed. Oh my gosh, bro, y'all are retarded. See, at least when we were in the wrong, or can even be seen as in the wrong, or for having a bad take, it was just due to complete insensitivity, like not being retarded. Like, I'm totally okay with us being like looked at as like a couple of assholes rather than being looked at as fucking dumbasses like that, bro. Anyways, okay. Okay, so this is in response to the her statement, because he was saying where is it? They replaced the right here. He said that they were talking, this is him talking about the Reddit, and said that they replaced the pinned post with the what now post and locked it when people started discussing the situation. This is also not a prior view. This story broke yesterday. It's an ongoing story and you can't discuss it at all in his community. That's not growth, that's cowardice. This is talking about the Destiny Reddit community. So this is the what now, because they went ahead and made a short post after that freaking great wall of text that was shown previously, and people didn't want to say, I'm not going to talk about this. So the Heavenly Fathers that be over at the Destiny subreddit decided to say, all right, I want to make a short post that goes over a few things regarding the subreddit and my positions. I didn't take any time to really format this or clean it up, but hopefully it gets my point across. I'm generally going to say this, mostly people say something like that so that way they can try and deviate from any criticism. I didn't sleep, I didn't study, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't prepare my words, I didn't consult a lawyer before I posted this. The subreddit will, for the foreseeable future, be strictly politics and online memes. What it is normally is about 85% of the time. I understand that people want to talk about Destiny, the leaks, the pending litigation, all of your feelings about them, but there's been so many posts just asking, what do we do now? As far as the subreddit is concerned, what we are going to do is have the subreddit be focused on politics in a critical time for the US as the Trump administration is underway. So, in other words, hey, over here at the super duper liberal world extravaganza, you're not allowed to have free thought. You're not allowed to think freely. You're not allowed to speak openly. You're not allowed to voice your opinion. You are only allowed to talk about what we deem credible and what we deem okay.
And if you want to talk about that particular thing, we are going to not only probably kick, ban, and or mute whatever thing you posted. We're going to go like this. We're going to cover our ears and we're going to go la la la. You did not say that.
This screenshot is fantastic. I will leave this thread unlocked, but I swear if it gets wild, I will just lock it. Edit locked. You can't just help yourselves but comment on these things when I specifically asked you not
Praise
to.
and effect, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
If you try to act like it doesn't exist, if you try to put your head in the sand, guess what, motherfuckers? People are going to be digging for your head in that sand because they're going to come for it.
You people hate when others don't take like responsibility for what's going on when they turn around, especially like the Streisand effect only gets worse when it comes to people talent like when you try and pull the clothing over somebody's eyes, when you try and pull the wool over someone's eyes, you know, that's like the big issue there, because people hate when you're like, I know this is real, and people keep looking at you and go, no, 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 shh, shh, shh. That's, I don't know what you're
People
talking
don't
about.
want to
Like,
be duped.
no, no, no.
People don't want to be duped.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Oh, guys, this is a long video. This is a long video.
It's not even as long as the last one yet.
No, but it has so much more context and it has so much more explanation.
I know it's got more weight on it. Yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, so that is a good, I mean, let me just click on Theorio because he was pretty much following a lot of this. Oh yeah, I just got sent this right now too. Basically this is Destiny. Also, regardless of anyone simping for me or attacking me or whatever in here, if any of you are ever defending sending material to people without their explicit consent or anything like that, I'm banning you. Don't end up defending retarded shit just because you're defending your streamer, fan, or anything like that. Rules for thee, but not for me. I'm not exactly sure. Like
Self-admittance?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Good job, Diorio. I was tuned into your stream for a minute. That's awesome. But it's like, dude, how are you gonna turn around?
Was that Mr. Medicare up there?
Yeah, as Medicare. Yeah, that was yeah. So
do you think he might do a video on it?
He's already done I'm sure he had. Well, he did a live stream on, well, if he's gonna do a live stream on tranny blacks, like, yeah, I think he's gonna do a live stream on Destiny.
Oh yeah.
Probably. We'll see. But that's so far, everybody, that's like our contextualizing of the video. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably just mesh this video onto that video, and it'll be part 1 and 2 together. So it might be like a 5-hour long video.
Good Lord.
So we'll see. I think that'll probably be the most fairest way to do this, is like to put all of it together in one, either that or just put part 1 and part 2 the same day, you know. Regardless, you guys, this is crazy. This is wild. There's still, we're basically right now, what we covered is Pixie, Erudite, and Destiny. That has been the big problem. That was the whole point of the Cope and See video. Pixie, Erudite, Sunday, and Destiny. Now, next, we're going to be covering Diorio versus Sunday, because Sunday needs to get impeached. Sunday is an absolute piece of shit. Sunday, you are a garbage ass human being. You literally are the epitome of everything that we've told people. If you are on the internet, you should expect to be recorded. You should expect that there's somebody out there looking at you and anything that you do in a way that they can utilize it in order to go scorched earth. Sunday is a by any means necessary. And what that means is if you're a friend standing in front of him and what he perceives to be revenge, he will toss you under the bus in order to get there. And that's exactly what he did to Pixie. Even though they weren't friends, that's exactly what he did to Pixie in order to try and get back at Destiny. He's just a trash human being. Yeah.
I'm down. Let's go.
So yeah, we're gonna be covering Diorio versus Sunday. And in the Diorio video, he does go over the Sunday video, the Sunday phone call, his own phone call, all of these things. And let me tell you guys, if you haven't watched it already, like, it gets pretty wild. But until next time, guys, I'm your host, Kmplxity, joined always by the one and only Zeph. And we here at the After Show, we appreciate you guys sticking with us. I mean, if you've stuck out with us for this 4-hour-long video or this second video, like, we appreciate you guys. We know we've been slow on getting stuff out there, and because of us being so busy behind the scenes, we weren't able to cover this with the same level of respect that it deserved. I knew we had to make right. I knew we had to do right by this.
That's what take twos are for. That's what for round two's for.
Yeah, that's what so we knew we had to do justice to the story, and like Tina said, we don't delete nothing over here, you know. We stand by it, whether it's a W or an L. We appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful rest of whatever is going on, evening, noon, or night. Morning.
You guys have
morning.
A good one.
Yeah, I forgot morning.
Whatever you might be doing, wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
Whatever's going on. You guys have a good one. Peace.